Hello. Cool. I hope it's working this time right away. So and I only got a few minutes, so I just quickly want to share a few thoughts on the energy component of food. So where do we start? Let's start with the approach of food. I said this before, food is everything. It's not just the food on our plate. It's also everything else we take in life, like all experiences we make throughout life, everything that's influencing us and shaping and changing us in any sort of way is basically our food for our soul. And now we can eat good food or bad food, right? Okay, so that means I like to divide food into primary food and secondary food. So the food we eat, and I think I might have said that before as well, the food we eat is our secondary food. Our primary food is all other food that we take in life, meaning all other influences, like, our relationships, our career, anything that influences our current state of mind and emotion is food as well. Cool, so that's the primary food. Secondary food is the food we eat. So now I want to talk about the energy component of food, any food that's primary food and secondary food. So if we look at it from like an Ayurvedic or yogic point of view, we talk a lot about prana in Ayurveda and yoga and other Eastern modalities. They might call it chi, and like Chinese alternative medicine and modalities and so forth. So basically chi or prana, whatever you want to call it, is life force. So, and we also have life force present in food, obviously. Life force is present in anything and everything that is alive. So whether you're vegetarian or not, our food is originally coming from a living source. That's our fruit, our vegetables, that's also animals we eat if we choose to have a meat meat including diet. So, and obviously, so they're all coming from life force from prana. So prana is energy, right? Anything that moves, that keeps us alive, this vital force is energy. So all those foods have an energy component. So now it is that, and it makes sense that once you pick your broccoli from the garden and you pick it off the plant, it's dead, right? So it right away depletes the life force energy going through. Makes sense, because it's not alive anymore. So because of this, it's from an energetic point of view really important to eat the freshest, most natural whole foods you can get. Have it organic, have it local for that reason as well. Because if you imagine, getting apples that are being flown over from South Africa, so they get picked there when they're not even ripe yet, which means they're quality-wise not even at their peak. Then they get containered around by ship, airplane, however, half of the world, to eventually arrive in Australia weeks later after being in like little, containers without proper oxygen or light or whatever on the ocean, coming here to then end up on the supermarket shelf, also being sprayed, being waxed, being influenced or modified in a way to keep them fresh for this long amount of time, to then eventually end up on our shelf at home. And some of these apples, quite often forget to eat those, and I find them sitting on my shelf looking exactly the same 2 weeks later. But if you look at it from an energy point of view again, these apples are more or less dead when there's no life force left in them whatsoever. So they're not high vibrational food. If you look at it from energy, it can be high vibrational and raise your vibration, raise your frequency, or it can be low vibrational and not benefit you at all, if not even depleting your energy. So I've been having a take on this yesterday, talking about my sugar story on the weekend. That's fucking low vibrational food. Eating like refined sugars, processed foods, they don't have any life force energy. They're probably below zero. They have a negative amount of energy in them. So they actually deplete your own life energy. Like, for anyone who's watched the video yesterday on sugar, how sugar affects our body, it depletes our energy, it depletes our life force. So it's low vibrational food, right? So yeah, that was something like a really sort of basic principle that I wanted to cover, which is yet so powerful. So because food, when it comes to food, it's not just about the nutrients, it's about their vibration, it's about the frequency, which can be high and raise you way up there and bring you towards thriving, or it can bring you right down because it's low vibrational food and it's not benefiting your system in any way whatsoever. So now I've been talking about the food we eat, which is our secondary food. We can also apply this to our primary food, which are our relationships, our contentment in life, whatever we do. Like I said, anything else that influences us in one way or another is food as well. So if you think about it, let's take as an example our career. As career is a factor, as a pillar, as I like to say, of primary food. So if you're in a career where you're thriving, you're loving your job, you're doing what you love, like you're passionate about, you're having fun, you're having a good time, it's getting you somewhere, you're kicking goals, whatever, it makes you feel good, your career, you're in a good place, in alignment with your career, and that's high vibrational food for your soul, right? It's raising you up, it's like bringing you into alignment, it's sort of helping you to fulfill your soul's purpose or your own desires. On the other hand, if you're stuck in a career it doesn't lift you up, where you like don't want to get out of bed whenever you have to work, where you're not looking forward to work, where you feel so drained and depleted and irritated and annoyed because for whatever reasons you're just not happy in your career, then that's low vibrational food, and that's bringing your frequency right down. Alright? So same in your social life or your relationships. You can have high quality, like that's what it means when we say spending quality time with someone. Quality time should raise you way up there, you know. While having relationships and social life and people in your life that don't impact you positively or bring you down, that's also low vibrational food. It's lowering your frequency. Cool, so you can apply this into every aspect of your life. So what I then want to touch on, because obviously primary food and secondary food are interlinked, so meaning, you know, you can eat all the broccoli in the world if you want to, but if other pillars in your primary food, like your career, your social life, your relationships, your home environment, the joy factor in your life, your general contentment and happiness, if that is out of whack for whatever reason, even one of the pillars, you can eat all the broccoli in the world and you're still not going to be at your full potential. You're not going to be at your highest frequency and your biggest thrive, because your primary food pillars are out of whack, are unbalanced, unstable. You don't have a strong foundation. On the other hand too, if you have strong primary food pillars, like you have loving relationships, you're thriving in your career and so forth, but you're eating crap food day in and day out, like living off McDonald's, you're also not going to be at your full potential. Like you're having strong foundations in your primary food, but you're sort of, you know, getting into your own back. I don't know how you say that properly, you know, like you're just not rewarding your own efforts in this primary food area through the nutrition you take in, so you're still not at your highest frequency. So one influences the other and vice versa. So then I'm touching on this because I had a few chats with people lately talking about, you know, this food thing that I'm doing at the moment. I found this, for me, working super well, superfood system that is, and it's scientifically researched, it's amazingly out there, up there quality. It's great. It really helps the body to get the proper nutrition we need, to not only to get all the nutrients we need, but to also absorb it and to help our system to perform in an optimal way, like in its best possible way and to thrive, because then obviously the better we feel physically, that transfers into our endocrine system, into our hormones and so forth. So if our physical body functions right, our hormones are getting triggered the right way, so then our emotions are balanced and our mind is balanced, and that's how it all comes together. But then I have people, you know, talking about those superfoods as an example, and that were saying like, oh, you know, the system just doesn't work for me, it's crappy food. And, you know, it's okay, some, like, by individuality, like, some things work for some, which don't work at all for others, and that's fine. But I just want to bring awareness to the fact of what I just talked about, the vibrancy of the foods we have in our life. So say if you're on those, like, the superfood products I am on right now, which are amazing, But if you're on them and your mindset about them is crap, and other primary pillars in your life, primary food pillars, are out of whack, and your whole mindset about it is like, oh, stuff this, it's not going to work for me anyways, like you're setting up a low vibration, a low frequency. Okay, so that's the frequency you start from, it's low as. So then just having one aspect, your nutrition, like those superfoods that I'm taking at the moment, that were, center of a discussion, if you only try to rely on them to raise your frequency way up there, but you're starting from down here and other things in your life are out of whack, it's not going to happen. You know, like you can't have the most negative mindset and have a load of negativity in your life and be happy for it to be there and not being willing on acknowledging that and changing that and expecting from just your nutrition to bring you right up there. Same vice versa, you know, you can't have an ultimate nutrition and a good career, but you're stuck in a really toxic relationship. So yet you're expecting your nutrition to raise you way up there, or your career to bring you way up there frequency-wise. It's just not going to work if you're, on the other hand, still stuck in a toxic relationship and bringing negativity into your life that way. So, yeah, short and sweet. So I only got a minute left. So I hope that made sense. I just want to, you know, bring some awareness on the frequency of things, the vibrancy of things. And that's not only food, that's anything we do. Like anything in life, it's about living with intent, basically. That's living with the right intent is what's bringing up right up there to thrive, to froth. To living with the intention of raising our vibration, of raising collective vibration through anything we do. That's nutrition, that's secondary food, primary food, everything in life. It's about our intention, you know. Like having a negative mindset is not going to be fostering positivity around you, and vice versa. Like attracts like. If you're radiating positivity, you're going to attract positivity. And keeping in mind that it doesn't necessarily come back from from the same direction you sent it to. Okay, so you might send positivity out in one way or another that way, and eventually on whatever time frame, it's going to come back at you from this direction. Okay, but yeah, like attracts like, and from the vibrational energetic point of view, in order to achieve create thrive in your life, you need to balance all relevant factors and bring them up to scratch, to top notch, to allow you to get to your ultimate level of thrive, of potential, and stuff like that. So everything in our life, should be in resonance. It's all like a big orchestra, you know, like a big orchestra. In order, like there's so many different instruments and musicians in an orchestra. In order to be in harmony, every single part in the orchestra needs to be within this harmony. So if there's one instrument or one musician out of tune, it's going to sort of bring the whole harmony out of whack from the whole orchestra. So what do you need to do? You need to look at which instruments are out of tune, which musicians are not playing the right way, get them, tune them up, tune them in, and then you're going to have the whole frequency, the whole harmony of the orchestra, harmonious again, up in tune, if that makes sense. So yeah, cool. That was all I want to share today. Thanks so much to everyone who's on here and watching right now. I really appreciate it. And yay, I really enjoy doing those lives when they work for me. Quite often I do have something in my head that I want to share right away, but then my reception down here is usually bad. Right now I'm just on my Wi-Fi dongle and it keeps cutting out whenever I don't need it to cut out. Like yesterday I recorded my live video 3 times. So maybe I need to raise my vibration towards, you know, technology and internet, and then that's going to work better for me too. So yeah, thanks guys for watching and tuning in. Leave some comments, leave some inspo, leave some, you know, anything else you'd like me to talk about or discuss or things like that. And otherwise, I hope everyone had an amazing and sunny day today. A good start into your week.